Bodine needs to return that on the way. On
Yeah.
the way back.
It's a little bit sway. It says don't walk in a green light. It's very misleading.
Hi, Marvin.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for calling, man.
No, you called me. Let me talk to Bodine.
Oh, all right. Hello.
Hello.
How are you, Mr. Remen?
I am fine.
All right, he's got his hat back on.
How terrifying that running of the bulls was.
Everybody was so terrified. I'll tell you what, they're holding their gut laughing.
Yeah, I won't sleep tonight.
Yes, of course, we didn't have a bull costume. We had a happy, smiling bear costume.
I thought he said get a bear costume.
Just one.
Mr. Remen?
What?
Somebody even asked me, why is the person mooing in a bear outfit? I told him it was a bull outfit, and he just shook his head, laughed, and walked away.
Our mobile unit was making complete fools out of him.
Well, he's still mooing if that's anything.
Quite all right.
Consolation to you.
Okay.
Feel much better.
All right. Load him in the car and take him home.
All right, let's go.
We'll see you later. All right, Bodine, thank you.
Bye, Mr. Remen.
The running of the bulls. Check in with Lazicki. Hello.
Hello.
All right, are you at the drive-thru?
Yeah.
Roll down the window. Roll down your window. And turn your radio up. Now, there's a chance you're going to get feedback, so you have to put the phone out of the radio.
Okay.
Turn the radio up.
All right.
Turn it loud.
It's loud.
Is it loud?
She doesn't know
It can't
what
be
you're
too
going
loud.
to
I'm
do.
not
That's
getting
why
feedback.
she's paranoid, man. She does not know what you're going to
Because,
do.
no, don't worry. When they ask something, don't say anything. They'll ask, we take your order. Don't say anything.
I'm gay. Oh, brother.
Shh.
I'm gay.
Hello there, man. Take your order.
I'm gay. I'm gay. I'm gay. I'm gay.
Hello?
I'm gay. I'm gay.
Hello.
Hi, can I help you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I'm gay. You know what the great thing is though they think Nikki's the one who's saying I'm gay, and that she's got a I'm gay, a very husky voice. I'm gay.
So
I'm
they
gay.
can't hear because they called him a slur.
I'm gay. I'm gay.
I go to the window.
I think he's going to kill you.
Just tell me when you get there.
Okay, I'm there. Nobody's here yet.
All right. As soon as they pop in the window, let me know.
No, I was before that.
Turn up your radio.
You told me to pull around to the window.
I'm gay.
Turn up the radio.
I haven't it yet.
Turn up the radio.
You're on the radio. Would you like to?
I'm gay.
The morning show. They'd like to talk to you.
I'm gay.
They
I'm
want
gay.
to talk to you, Ray.
I'm gay.
Turn up the radio. I'll
Ask for
give
a
an order.
manager.
I'll give an order.
They're gonna give you the order over the radio.
Okay. Turn up the radio.
We're gonna give you a legitimate order.
Okay. I would like. Could you hear me? I want biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, and they're mad.
I'm gay.
Oh, terrible. Just give me biscuits and gravy.
All right, call us when you get to the next drive-thru.
Yeah, no, that's no.
I'm not doing this.
Come on, Nick. You're no fun. You're no
fine.
fun, Nick.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay.
See you later.
Did you notice how she didn't say what station she was with?
She's very smart.
She just said,
Why?
He wants to know what station we're with. You want to talk to him?
Oh, yeah, I'll talk to you.
Hey, this is
All
Rick
right.
Blade. Hey, Max.
Stop it. Hey, hello.
Okay.
Am I talking to somebody? Who am I talking-
He's cussing, so I'm pulling away.
Oh.
Okay.
Who's cussing?
why would he be cussing? What an idiot.
Just to get the F out of the way. We have other customers.
Well, I thought he said he wanted to talk to us.
He wants to know what radio station it says, so
Oh.
whatever.
Well, I don't know. All right.
See ya.
See you later. Let's go live to our morning disaster mobile unit. Where are they? Cook and Dirksen?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. You are set up.
We are.
Is the girl there with the...
Yeah.
Oh, she's there.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Who the hell is that?
Marvin. Hang on, Marvin.
How the hell did Marvin get there?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Marvin is there?
Marvin is here.
All right, so
And
Shaner, Bodine, Marvin, and
Marvin and Bobby and Julie.
Bobby and Julie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bobby's a guy?
No, Bobby's a girl.
Oh, Bobby's, oh, Bobbie. Well,
Yeah.
Bobby,
yeah.
we are sitting inside the limo.
Yeah. Why are you in the limo?
Well, because Bobby has no clothes on.
Whoa.
What?
Pictures.
Bobby,
Take pictures.
Explain to me what's going on.
okay.
All right, this
I'm
has
going
got to
to-
be done in
Pervert,
public
Jim.
because the listeners have got to see it.
Bobby has no clothes on,
Right.
and she was going to let us pour syrup up and down.
Okay, well, now hold on a second. I want this done where our listeners can see it. Now, they're not going to see it in the limo.
How about if we just crack the window in the limo?
No, you can no. Why don't you have a girl put something over the dirty parts, the naughty parts, and then pour?
You want her to put her panties back on?
Yeah, like her panty and bra.
Okay.
Oh.
So you could do it in front of it. I know Shaner wants to see her naked in the limo, and that's all good for Shaner and Bodine and
I've already
Marvin.
seen her. I've already seen her.
Yeah,
Hang on, we're gonna put all this. We're gonna put a couple of things back on.
and then get her out there so everybody can see her as they drive by. I mean, I want to share this with our audience, Shaner.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want you hogging all the punani.
You
No
know,
hogging the punani, Shaner. No hogging the punani. Once again, Shaner's hogging up all the punani. We have what now? Which one is it? The girl Bobby's her name?
Bobby. I know it's on the delay, but everybody here needs to blow their horns as soon as they
I
can hear us.
don't
Listen to
believe
this.
it.
Listen to this. We go.
Oh, man.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Guess who just walked out of the limo?
She's outside the limo.
Okay.
We have a Bodine sweatshirt on her right now because when she takes that off, there's not much underneath. So,
Make sure we're covered. I don't want anybody getting arrested.
We're legal.
Do you have the chocolate syrup?
We have the chocolate syrup.
Let Marvin pour the chocolate syrup on her.
He's already put some on in the limo.
Well, you put some outside.
Can I have my turn?
No.
I'm giving the syrup to Marvin.
The girl is on the corner of Cook and Dirksen right now.
Yes.
People could drive by and see this.
Yeah.
She's panty and bra.
Patty and Buck.
All right. Thank you. The hell is that?
That's semi,
Hi.
mail truck, you name it. Everybody home!
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah, they pouring the chocolate syrup.
Yeah.
Is Marvin pouring it?
He's putting it down the cracks of her ass right
All
now.
right.
Uh-huh.
To her back, her shoulders. All right, let's get it everywhere.
Down her back. Down her... Where are you putting that, Marvin? Marvin, where are you putting that? Football.
Put it everywhere.
That's
There's a traffic jam. Shaner the dog at the shop is coming out to lick the chocolate. Oh, buddy.
okay.
That should be part of the contest. The dog has to lick off the chocolate.
Now we're turning her around and we're starting to put it down.
What kind of chocolate syrup are you using?
Hershey's.
Oh, you're using the Hershey's brand.
Yeah.
Of course, quality stuff.
Yeah.
Down the belly. Now it is trickling down through
The nether regions?
Has it
the
in the
Neverland.
is it in the nether region?
The naughty
Oh.
bits.
Yes. It's a nubby a hot fudge
Oh,
sundae.
my. Oh my.
What is it? Ask her how she's feeling.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Well, how's it feel?
It feels really cold
Really?
and really good
And sticky?
and sticky.
Feels good.
Yeah.
You're having an ugly bald man pour chocolate syrup on you. How can it feel good?
It feels really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
I got some syrup in my place.
All right, Jim, be quiet.
I'll just
All
do-
right. I hope it's worth it.
It is.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, have you thought about how you're going to clean it off?
I am going to let this Rottweiler right here lick it off.
Oh, yeah. That lucky Rottweiler.
Come on, look at
All right,
yourself.
thank you, dear. Let me
He's
talk to
licking my toes right now.
let me talk to Shaner. A Rottweiler's licking her toes.
That's my dog.
Let me hear Marvin scream. What's he saying?
Good Lord.
Oh, that's great.
My Rottweiler is now cleaning her up.
Oh, how disgusting.
Yes, he is.
Oh, buddy. Ask Marvin if he wishes he was a Rottweiler.
Marvin, do you wish you was the dog? I wish I was the syrup.
All right, so you have covered her body in chocolate syrup.
Yes.
She's at the corner of Cook and Dirksen, and her panty. What color were her bra and panties?
A white bra and russet green panties.
And they are now what color?
They are
They're-
now brown. Matter of fact, it was a G-string instead of.
Oh, well.
Oh, yeah.
You know I prefer the thong underwear.
Mm-hmm.
You know I prefer those to the regular underwear.
We have a whole new crowd of people now. Should we show them?
Yeah, what the hell? Bring them out. They want it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
jeez. Sweet. Yeah, how could you not want to see that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, buddy. I guess she wins the tickets, right? I don't think anybody's going to beat that. Congratulations. She gets tickets to go see Candlebox. Shaner, congratulate her.
Oh,
And-
congratulate me.
Yes. Congratulations. You're very lucky.
Lucky dog.
I'm trying to find a rage. I was going to play a rage bit next. Every rage bit is like over 10 minutes. I can't find a short. I'm trying to find a short rage bit to put in before the show officially starts, and they're all too long. I mean, what the hell? It timed out perfectly for, everything timed out perfectly for the bit to end right at 8 o'clock to play the theme song. I can't because the rage bits are too long. Let me throw. Let's get a Marvin bit up. This is a good one.
So what is your petition?
I hear you, Teddy.
What's your petition doing?
What's this?
What's your petition for?
Oh, I'm petitioning to abolish renting, apartment complexes, anything that has to do with the smelly little people that don't have any scruples that are renting. They take no pride in what they have. So, yes, they are white trash, Teddy.
Oh, Marvin.
And we're gonna. I'm right here in front of the door, so I'm without any further to do. I'm gonna continue.
Well, go right ahead, Marvin.
Okay,
There's
and I'll
nothing
just tap at the door.
Marvin, of course.
Answer the door! I hear you, damn little
Oh, Marvin.
quickie radio. I know you're in there. Teddy, we need to be a little nicer.
What?
Oh, hello. Ma'am, I am Marvin from Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster, and this is my sidekick, Teddy, here. Well, Teddy, you really shouldn't say that about the lady.
What was Teddy saying about her?
Well, I really don't know if I should say it, Ray.
What was it?
Well, he called you a dirty whore.
Oh!
Did he? Teddy did. Now, now about getting back to this petition here, I would like to have it signed and to abolish renters, apartment complexes, all these white trash people that are renters, and they have rusted out cars, and it's the whole.
Why would I sign that? I happen to be a renter. And why would I want to sign that?
Oh, you
are a moron.
Ray, this lady is a renter, Ray.
And I'm not white trash.
Teddy, no. I really don't think you should say that, Teddy.
What was Teddy saying?
Do I have to say it,
I'm
Ray?
just asking him what he was saying.
Well, he said she was a dirty whore.
Oh, Marvin, you are a moron.
Get out of here, you moron.
Well,
What just happened?
aren't we uppity?
Wake up!
Yes, you do.
I'm a gay superstar. I'm a gay superstar. Come on.
Yes, you do.
I'm a gay superstar. I'm a gay superstar. Get up, fuck. We want to grab him, touch him, lick him, and see how they are.
Jumping out of bed at 5 in the morning, turning on the radio, scratching my balls and drinking my coffee, taking in the morning disaster show. Now Ray is the master of the disaster. He knows just what to say. He's big, he's large, and he's in charge. Picking out jam and start your day. Mobile unit headed on a mission, streaking and freaking and rude and crude, flipping up the streets and taking no prisoners, jumping in your face with a funky attitude.
Very low class accent.
Ray Lytle,
Come on.
morning disaster.
Bodine. I'm with GLC, the radio station.
Get the mic. Get the mic. Get the mic.
Mobile units rolling into your neighborhood today to make some noise and raise some hell till the cops haul them all away. Small town tour is burning up the region. Everybody feels so close. Bands online and it's CD signing, waiting for the morning disaster show.
Morning Disaster is part of your complete and balanced breakfast and contains 100% of your recommended daily allowance of vitamins and minerals. Yeah, right.
Every lady's fantasy.
The hot Carl.
Every lady's fantasy.
Yes, hello, ma'am. I was wondering if you could help me. I have a chimpanzee, and he will not come down. He has been up for the past 2 or 3 days.
You know, if he wasn't drinking, he was doing something with a crack pipe.
Get up.
Bend over here, son. Hey, come here, boy. Come back here. Take it from me, gay porn superstar Peter Rodman.
We'll be the kid on the mix.
Ray Lytle,
Call it out. We'll be the kid on the mix.
Ray Lytle,
Come on. Call it out. We'll be the kid on the mix.
Ray Lytle,
Call it out.
morning disaster.
Let's not let him do that.
Come on. We'll be the kid on the mix. That's right. My granny's beaver smells like beef.
Oh boy. Well, there we go.
Thank you for waking me up.
Mm-hmm. There you go. It's Ray Lytle Morning Show. We are here. Good morning, everybody. It's a Friday. And we're ready. We're rocking good.
Yay.
This weird thing happened to me. I didn't drink any. I came home from working out yesterday. I was all tired and stuff. And I had water, but I drank it. And then I didn't drink water again until, I got busy. And I just forgot to drink water. And then my wife came home from work at around, I don't know, it was after 6 o'clock. She comes home, she goes, hey, you don't have any water. And I said, oh, yeah, I was working on my computer. I said, I've been busy working. She goes, let me get you water. So between 6 o'clock and the time I fell asleep, I drank like 5 full glasses of water. Okay. So needless to say, when I went to sleep last night, I was getting up it seemed like I was getting up like every hour or 90 minutes to go pee.
You felt like a fire hydrant.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it was insane. I could not stop peeing. And like, even now, like I got up this morning, did my business, got dressed, came in, did the show. And I'm like, even now I'm sort of like, oh my God, I could get up and whiz again. I mean, peeing's a natural thing. I always pee when but usually at some point you're done.
You would think.
Right? It's like now so do you guys know how long does that go on? I mean, good Lord. I feel like I still got to go. Yes, my wife goes, well, you're supposed to cut that off. And I go, what? He goes, you're supposed to you got to stop drinking water so much. And I'm like,
you got to give yourself a little bit of a break.
I'm like, how did I not catch that? She goes, you drink a lot. She goes, you really drink a lot of water after 6 o'clock. And I'm like, you couldn't say anything? You couldn't give me a tip? My wife's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you had the innards of a child. Yeah, so that was nice. But that's crazy. You know what I
I'm
mean?
sorry, it was my responsibility to deal with your body.
Well, no, it was nuts. I just it's like I would fall asleep comfortably and I'm sleeping. All of a sudden I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I got it. And I had to basically jump out of bed and go run to the bathroom. I was having to deal with that all night. It was annoying. So I gotta watch that. I mean, I didn't think there was anything I had to watch, you know. I'm gonna have to start cutting off the drinks or start easing up the drinks, you know, in the evening. Does that make any? I don't know.
You almost like, it's almost like you need an alarm to tell you, hey, drink some water, and then stop drinking water.
Yeah, but it's weird. Have you ever just forgot to drink water? That's kind of what happened to me in the middle.
That was me yesterday, and I woke up this morning with the most driest mouth in the world.
It was crazy because I'm usually drinking water throughout the day, and then at night I guess I'm just not that thirsty anymore, so I just don't drink it. That's usually what happens. But yesterday was different. I was thirsty all day, and then at night when my wife came home, like I said, I seemed to chug like 5 glasses of water because I was so hungry, I was so thirsty, and then I paid for it last night. So I felt like I couldn't get comfortable in bed because I just felt like, you know, I felt like I had to go pee after, you know, I'd be fine for like an hour or whatever. And then all of a sudden I got to get up and whiz. By the way, somebody's in the chat room. Eric's saying there's an app. There's an app that will remind you every minute or so to drink water. A former coworker had it on her phone. Yeah, but now I need to get an app to tell me not to drink it at night. You know?
Well, that's what the alarm is for. Hey, it's 7:00. Stop drinking water.
Oh, like the app tells you to stop. Okay, maybe I should do that. Yeah,
Or just use your alarm app. You can actually set an alarm, and it'll say, "Stop drinking water."
So I tell you, Nick, I really felt like last night was one of those nights that if I didn't have to get up and pee, I think I could have slept all the way through it. That's how, you know, that's what I've been feeling lately. You know, I would have been
I almost got a full night's sleep.
That would have been the first night in a while. Getting an all night sleep. Of course, no. By the way, I called Nick last night. I bothered Nick. I'm sorry I bothered you.
No, you're fine. You can bother me.
My uncle had an emergency in Champaign. His company was doing some work for the Lowe's company in Champaign, and he needed somebody to go serve as a representative and get this punch list signed, you know. And I'm like, well, Nick has a kid that's like, you know, young 20s maybe. And so I tried calling you to see if you can get somebody, and blah blah blah. It was a big, but I really appreciate you taking the call because
no problem. You are the ones of people that call me. So
meanwhile, I see TJ is driving. He's I like this view of TJ driving every morning.
Well, I'm on my way to Hannibal, Missouri.
Hannibal, Missouri? What are you going to Hannibal for today?
COVID.
No, not COVID.
To get some.
Today, I'm actually going to be driving into a cement mine.
Wow. You'll drive into the cement mine?
Yes, I will.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. I saw a thing yesterday about Western Illinois and COVID. In Western Illinois, there's I can't remember the county. There is like 3 beds left in the entire county.
Wow.
And it's all because of COVID. So I'm telling you, a lot of, you know, some people get COVID and they're fine. They go through it, you know, they go through it pretty easily with headaches, pain, whatever, but they get through it. They're alive. But the other people that get it, man, are bad and they need hospitals. And now they have this county. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's just to the left of Jacksonville. They have 3 beds. That's it. So you don't want to be any of the one that gets COVID today. How's your grandma, Nick?
I haven't heard anything. So no news to me is good news right now.
At least not yeah. And she's in the hospital, or she's still in the old
No,
folks'
she's still at the home.
So they get somebody there with COVID, and they keep them in. So they just lock them off from everybody else, and
her roommate caught it first, and so they removed her and put her in a isolation wing, and then she ended up getting it. And since she was already by herself, they just isolated her there.
She's now isolated. So what they do with the roommate?
The roommate's in another wing. I don't know if they actually moved her to a hospital or anything like that. But the last I knew is that they put her in another wing of the home.
So she was a dirty that roommate, dirty
COVID spreader.
Yeah, God knows where she got it from. Who was she hanging around with? Dirty COVID crowd. Ugh. They should throw her out.
Maybe she went to the old folks COVID swinger party and then
That's
came back.
that's what I'm thinking. To the old folks version.
Maybe she was one. Yep, maybe.
Or maybe she was the driver down to the swinger convention.
Yeah. They put someone who has to live.
She thought she was on a bus to go to a casino and ended up at a swingers party.
Yeah, the person they had drive was the person who lives in a senior home.
Well, she had.
They're stupid enough to go down to a swingers party. They might as well be stupid enough to get an old person to drive their bus.
When would you ever get in a car with? Like, I don't let anybody drive, but who would you ever consider a situation where you're all going to go somewhere and you say,
"Oh, Grandma, do you want to drive this time?"
Yeah. Let the person who lives on the senior citizen in the old folks home, let them drive. There's no way, right?
Only if it's a rental car and you get the insurance.
You're married, Nick. You always drive, right?
For the most part, yes.
Yeah. Like I'll let if my wife drives, I'm fine.
It's weird when my wife offers to drive, because then I'm like, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. Well, my wife is like, she's always everywhere we go, she's always so busy, she's constantly talking to this or texting that or doing this or going to she's constantly doing things.
Yeah.
So I think when my wife and I go places, she's just like, you drive, because I don't do anything. I literally just, if I'm riding, I just sit there bored,
And a lot of my job is driving to different places too. So I'm just so used to the drive.
I am fine with my wife driving anywhere. My daughter can drive too, but literally when I ride, I don't do anything. I don't do anything but just sit in the passenger seat like a zombie, because my mind just doesn't seem to work. I'm so used to driving. So I think that's how my wife's more. If we go anywhere, she's like, "Hey, you want to go to run to blah blah blah?" I say, "Yeah, let's go." And then I always drive because she's constantly occupied in that passenger seat. It's the weirdest thing. And me, there's things I have to do that I just can't think of them. It's like, I'm sure there's things I have to do or calls I have to make or text I have to send or whatever. And I get in that passenger seat and I'm just like, looking at the window, just stare like a zombie. It's the craziest thing. But my wife is very busy in the passenger seat. She's constantly got a text going with my daughter, or or her mother, or my mother, or my family is constantly texting with her for some reason. She's texting with someone at all times, and so I think that it's not that I'm the best driver. I think that it's just it's boring to do it to drive. I think for her it's boring to drive. And me, I'm okay with being bored because literally I would just be sitting there like a zombie if I weren't driving. you know? So that's how I end up. That's how I end up driving most times. But I find myself, I drive usually. But I'm okay with certain people driving, but I'm not okay with most, you know? Like I need like in the old morning disaster days, we would go anywhere. I wouldn't go with anybody else driving. Like RTQ could drive. Like if Ronnie drove the limo or something, I'd be cool. Shaner, I'd be cool if Shaner drove, you know. But Jim the photographer, no.
Well, you got a story behind all of that too, though.
Yeah, but he was constantly, you know, he was constantly doing it. Like he was doing everything but driving whenever he was driving. He was and every time he drove. And Sean Blunt can tell you stories. He had to smoke pot. And it's like, you agreed to be in the car. And it's like, no, you can't be smoking weed when I'm driving with you in your car. So I just wouldn't go with him. It really pissed me off. Would you let someone in your car and then decide to just start smoking pot?
Hell no.
No.
To drive or just to ride?
Like for example, when someone gets in my car, I'm like, all right, just come on in, have a seat. We're going to take the drive. Okay. So they invite you into their car. Once you get into their car,
yeah,
they feel like, okay, this is my car. So I'm just going to start smoking weed.
I've had friends do that.
I've had that problem with Jimmy, and I'm like, what are you doing? I said, if we get pulled over, you know, I'm going to get arrested. You'll be all right. I'm like, no, you're the one you're smoking weed. You can't be smoking weed when I'm in your car. And I mean, with Jimmy and I, it was a violation of our contract.
Yeah.
So I'd say, no, dude, we're in violation of our moralities clause. I'm not going to be pulled over with you smoking pot. And all the time he did this shit whenever he'd want to drive. So I just wouldn't ride with him. And then one time we were going to Monday Night Raw. It was me and him, my brother Goose, and was it one more person? I can't remember. Dude, he gets in the back seat of my car, right? And I'm like, all right, let's drive down to St. Louis. So we're going to we developed a relationship with Shane McMahon, right? And we knew that Raw was coming to, this is around 2001 or 2 or whatever. The NWO, they had just brought them in, okay? So I wanted to go, and we call Shane O'Mac, or we had whoever was producing the show. We had him call and say, hey, could Ray get tickets? And he goes, yeah, no problem. So he sent over these really nice tickets to go watch this WWF Raw, WWE Raw, whatever. So I drive down there, and we take off from my house in Chatham. I tell Jimmy, my brother Goose, everybody, I'm like, meet at my house, and then we'll go. And I start driving down there, and we're on 55, right? And I hear, and I'm like, what the hell was that? It sounded like a can opening. And I go, did a can just open? And Jimmy goes, it's just me. I'm having a road soda.
Road soda.
I look, and he's chugging beer, and I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm just having a road soda. And I'm like, asshole, I don't want you drinking beer in my car. I'm driving. I'm not driving. I'm just riding. And I'm like, you can't be I said, it's illegal for me to drive a car if you're drinking
just
beer.
Just opened a container.
Yeah. And so he gets in an argument with me. And he says he's going to stop, right? So I'm like, geez. So we get down past Litchfield, and I hear it. And I'm like, did you just do it again? I just needed another road soda. And he chugs another one. And so I'm bitching. Now I'm pissed, and I'm bitching at him. I'm like, Jimmy, you got to stop drinking the beer. And then he's like, hey, pull over. We're We're somewhere near Collinsville, and he tells me to pull over.
I gotta pee.
And on this, and I go, "What? You want me to take an exit? No, just pull over." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, there's an exit literally like once a mile. There's an exit down around there, you know." And he's just like, "No, just pull over off the interstate, and I'll just go pee in the." Like he's a deer.
We're right by the Waffle House.
Yeah. And I'm like, "Do you want me to pull over and hit a fast food place?" No, he wanted to just go out in the woods and just let it fly. But we end up going to Raw, okay?
I'm a man of nature.
So we come home from oh, and by the way, so he goes out and pees, right? And he comes back and he smells like weed. Which is why he wanted to, this is the real reason that he wanted to pee off the side of the road and not go to a restaurant so he could hit his one hitter, you know, because he comes back and he smells like a pot factory. So he's all high for the wrestling show. It was a good wrestling show. And we leave and we go home, right? So we're driving back, and I hear a tsh. I'm like, "Did you just open another one?" "Hey, I just needed a road soda." I'm like, and I'm pissed. I'm like, "You are not," and I'm bitching. I'm like, "You're not going to."
Said if you say road soda one more time.
Yeah. And then I'm driving, and I'm like, and we get north of like a Triad or whatever it is on 55, and I'm like, "What is that?" He's in my back seat, right? He's got this thing that looks like a cigarette. I said, "There's no smoking in my car." And he's in my back seat smoking his joint, you know? And dude, that's when the cop lights come on behind us.
Oh, for sake.
And I was so pissed off. I'm like, "What the hell?" Like, "Jimmy," and I'm bitching at him, and I don't remember all. The guy ended up knowing us. The state police officer who pulled us over knew who we were. He listened to the show. He's from Springfield, and he mentions while he's got us pulled over, he tells me, "You can't." He tells Jim, "You can't be drinking in the back seat." And I go, "He's drinking?" Like I had no idea. And the police officer mentioned Jim drinking because he knew who he was. And Jimmy's just like, "Hey, I'm just having a road soda." And the police officer's like, "Well, maybe you dump that road soda out." And, you know, he ended up letting us go. He never said anything about the pot. The police officer didn't say anything about the pot, but there's no way he didn't know that Jimmy was smoking it. But I got to tell you, that to me is the ultimate rude. When
it is,
you ride with someone and you just assume you could do all these things. It's one thing if I'm cool with it and I say, yeah, go ahead. But at least you should ask.
Jim didn't care, man.
No, he didn't. You're right.
That was one thing about him. I give him a lot of compliments, but one thing that was annoying was you always had to like come up with a way of getting him not to do what he's doing. And it couldn't be just like you're saying, like I was bitching. He doesn't care. What are you going to do? That dude will knock you out in two, like, moves with his karate stuff for real. Like,
you heard what I said earlier. You heard what I said earlier. If he was driving, he would just do it.
Like Nick said, if you say road soda one more time, what?
Yeah.
Road soda.
It's
road
like
soda,
a chop.
Road soda. I mean, you had to come up with a way. I remember coming back from where did we drove to New Orleans, depending on how you say it.
Yeah.
Or Nolans. For that morning show boot camp thing.
Yeah.
And he wanted to put up a sign in the window that says, "It's a long road trip. Show us your tits." And he just kept on about it. And instead of bitching, or if you don't stop, I'm going to pull the car over. All this. Not. I said, "Oh my, yeah. How big can we?" I'm going to put one on my side that says, "Take your cock out." And there was no more mention of putting signs in windows after that.
I mean, why would he think
with like an angle
Why would he think it's acceptable? You know, it makes no sense.
Because he had a childlike sense of entitlement.
I've known people like it that in that respect to his that they just always have to have this danger, this like underlying danger going on in everything they do. Like you can't just go use the restroom and the whatever. You got to go pull over and, you know, you can't just wait until you got to do it now and hope to get arrested and live on the edge. And I don't know, it feels like adrenaline in people or something.
I know a time that it was him and Chloe, who was this one stripper who was a friend of ours. And it was Jimmy and Chloe and Sean. And they had to drive to Peoria or Champaign or something. And Sean decided to let Jim drive. And this was years later. And Jimmy gets in the car and Sean's in the passenger seat. And he smoked weed the entire trip. And Sean would say, Jimmy, I'm not comfortable with all this pot. And Sean would say, well, Jimmy would say, then you should have drove. And Sean tells a story of they showed up, it was a charity event or something. They opened the door, and when they opened the door, like a puff of smoke came out. and
then your car ends up smelling like it.
Yeah, well, Sean was covered in a news thing, and he smelled like it. And all he was doing was just riding in the car. He wouldn't smoke. Sean doesn't smoke weed, so he wasn't smoking at all. But he said his jacket, his pants, everything smelled like his hair. And Jimmy,
different experience. See, Jim never took out weed when he would be in my car.
Unbelievable. Did you drive or was he driving?
Either.
Wow. Yeah. From what I understand,
he would always wait for me to take it out.
Oh, because he didn't want to use his weed.
That's a lie. Jim would always share. Jim had no problem sharing weed. I made it funny.
But I tell you, I believe what you're saying. That to me is Jim.
Yeah, but he was always not stingy with the sharing. I mean, we would, it was, back and forth, but
Jimmy was one of my best friends. I knew him for a long, long amount of time. He never paid for a meal. And we would go to dinner all the time. He never, ever paid for a meal.
No. And he knew that I would pay to keep from the scene of the free, because that impressed some people, and he liked to impress people, and he thought that impressed people that he could get free meals, and it would. People would be like, "Wow, I can't believe we just walked in there and got a whole free." And he'd be like, "Yeah, when you're Jim the photographer, you can do that." But he knew that I was not into that at all, and so he knew that I would just pay.
I dealt with him for years.
And every time, Steak and Shake. I'd like a 3-way. Same thing.
Chili 3-way.
Yeah, but no, I'd like a 3-way.
No chili. Yeah.
They would be like a chili 3-way, or do you mean a chili 3? Yeah, 3-way.
Most of the time, I just paid for him just because to quiet him down. But
right, yeah.
He
knows that.
Never offered to pay. And me and my wife too, we paid for everything. I mean, but there were times like if he went to a Pickles gig, he wasn't paid. We paid him for a lot of them, but he didn't get paid for all of them. And so of course I'd buy his breakfast after a gig or something, But sometimes he would just go along. Like you wouldn't even want him to be there in the first place. And he would just go along. And then he would expect you to pay. It's like, no, I'm not gonna pay. I didn't even watch it, And then he would go and he would ask people he would go and find someone to give him a meal. Like we would go into, what was the truck stop right near the radio station in Riverton?
It's the Star 66 now.
Yeah. We would go into that Star 66. We would play a gig in Clinton. Okay. And we would get done really late at night. And we would drive back to Springfield because everybody lived in, my bass player lived in Gillespie, but everybody else lived in Springfield. So we would drive back, and we would always be like, "Hey, let's grab some breakfast over at that Star 66." And it would be everybody in the band plus Jimmy and Spanky and RTQ, everybody that was traveling with us at the time. And Jimmy never had money. But like I said, if he went there and he introduced and sang backups, a lot of times he'd work with the band and we'd only pay him a little bit. So I'd be like, I'll buy you breakfast, because I did pretty good with the band stuff. So I had some money usually on me, and I'll be like, I'll just buy you breakfast. But then sometimes he just showed up and didn't do a damn thing. He literally showed up, got free drinks, got blowjobs out back near the dumpster. And then
hell yeah.
yeah. And then he'd expect to ride home where he'd be high in the whole way.
But you could say that Jim the photographer was there.
Yeah.
And the advertisement of that alone is worth at least a free meal. Probably more like hundreds of dollars.
He would get in there and say, yeah, his mind. He would get in there and he would be like, I'm hungry. Be like, buy something. He'd be like, I don't have any money. And he would start going, true story. He would get up and go table to table, asking people, are you going to eat that?
Okay, wow. He never went that extreme with me. It was always just wheeling and dealing with the wait staff. It was never
dude, this is
wow.
This was his plan though, Rocky. He would do this like every Saturday night. In fact, I'll have to have Spanky on. Spanky can tell you stories. He would walk around from table to table asking, are you going to eat that? In hopes that somebody would say, just get some, Jim. I'll buy it. Like, have a seat with us. I'll get, And
you're talking about just going table to table with people in the band or whatever.
No. People that were when we got to the Star 66, there
like
were
strangers.
Really strange. They knew who he was because they knew the show.
Oh, so you're in Springfield doing that? Okay, that makes sense.
But
okay, I see. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I thought you were somewhere like on the interstate, like by someplace else.
No, we had come back from Clinton to Springfield, and so he would just go table to table, and people would be like, "Hey, it's Jim the photographer. Hey, are you gonna eat that?"
Oh yeah, I totally believe that. Yeah,
they'd be like, "No, that's yours," and he would grab a plate, and he would pick up like half the pancake and put it on his plate. Then you go to the next table. Hey, are you gonna eat that? No, I'm done. He'd scrape off the food onto his plate. Then he'd go to another table and, hey, are you gonna eat that? And they'd be like, no, and he'd scrape off like the hash browns.
At what point does the manager walk up or the
well, there was only, of all the times we've been there was one waitress, and I'd have to get Spanky on until, because Spanky ended up Spanky was the one who would get him out of it. This one waitress hated Jim, and she would be like, you can't do that. And he would argue with her. Yes, I can. I can do whatever. I can do what I want. But these people chose to give this to me. And the woman said, no, that has to go in the garbage. And his argument was, it's those people's food. They could do whatever they want. They chose to give it to me. And she'd be pissed because he was getting food without paying for it.
Well,
and I don't know what.
He was a Karen before a Karen.
I don't know what this woman's problem was. And Jimmy would.
You just said what her problem was. He was walking around getting free food from everybody when he could have been paying for his own food and then giving her a tip.
He was.
That's the problem.
He's cutting into her profits.
That woman's been on her feet all night, working all week after week, night after night, working. Look it up. Look up workers. And then you'll see what this woman's been doing and why she's a little tired of Jim the photographer.
He was so fucked up that it didn't matter what. He just wanted food. But he would have scraps. He would have, this person's half a pancake or this person's half-eaten egg.
Please, can I have some more?
And he would literally just scrape their plate onto his, and that's the stuff he would eat.
Yeah, I would buy a full meal for him before I would let any of that happen, and he knew it.
No, I would. I mean, I bought meals plenty of times. I got to be honest. Guys like me and Jamie, who was my guitarist, we were pretty impressed by the stuff he would get, and then he would bring it over.
That's the thing is, I never was. That's the whole thing. I just said, people that really impressed people, and I was never. It's like, no, I don't want to be a part of any of this. Here, take $5, and
I'd make him order off the
buy a
kids menu.
pancake for God's sakes.
He once talked the guy into ordering a steak and eggs. He once talked the guy at the Star 66 into ordering steak and eggs, just so Jimmy could have some of the steak. Just so he could have some steak.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, sometimes he's walking around and people go, well, Jim, just have a seat. We'll buy you breakfast. and he would sit down and eat with the people. And then we got kind of sad. So we're like, well, shit, now he's not sitting with us. And, but this happened every weekend. That's just Jim. It was unbelievable. He would somehow get other people to buy his dinner or breakfast. And it's not, breakfast isn't that much money. It's even, you said $5. $5 seems like a lot of money. There wasn't a,
you buy almost the whole restaurant for $5 back then.
Everything was under $10. There wasn't any.
We had that great steak and potato place or whatever in the mall where he would go like, it didn't even matter. There was no words at this point. It was just like he knew he was going to go get a free meal, and anybody that he brought with him was going to get a free meal, and that was it.
Unbelievable.
He
had a gift. It was really something.
And I would go up to get a refill, and then I would give it was the same woman every time, and I would give the woman like $5 and be like, well, if it's not, didn't consider it a tip.
Yeah.
And I don't think he ever knew that, but he would go like twice a week. And like I said, it got to the point where he would just walk up and order and, oh, hey, and for Rocky, this is Rocky. He's on the what, and then it got to the point where he wanted me to go with him and I didn't have to say anything. It's just, here's your free food.
So
for what?
The people at that restaurant, what was the restaurant?
It was in the food court. It was
the Great Steak and Potato Company.
Yeah, the Great Steak and Potato Company.
They would just give him free food because he was Jim the photographer.
It was
it was baked potatoes. They're like, I don't
remember. It was other stuff too because I got because I wouldn't get a baked potato.
I think you get like cheesesteaks or something like that too.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a. I mean,
he would have to get the. If it did happen, he would have to get the grossest place in the.
He was.
Yeah, it was
to the Chinese place. I don't like Chinese.
It was the worst.
And he would always want free everything. You want free food and expect it. Which there had to be people that were like, oh fuck him, I'm not giving him any. There had to be people who
felt there were. I've been in the shadows, not anytime when just him and me, I'm paying. There's none of that. But I've been at times when there's been a group and I've been hanging out in the shadows watching, and oh sure, absolutely. There's been people who have been like, especially when you're hanging out where I am in the back, when these people walk away from him and say to the other person, then they start talking like, I was trying to be nice. And this is the 5th fucking time for this guy. What am I supposed? I don't know what I'm supposed. What is he doing for us? Nothing.
Oh, God.
I'd hear all that because I'd be in the back.
That's the shit he did.
I know I've told the story before, but I mean, Rage and Jimmy both zoomed me for an $80 bill at Denny's.
Wow, they made you take them
both
out.
of them.
Yeah.
Well, we ended up there. It was after Cinco de Mayo, and the Pickles had played, and we were over at Four Seasons, and I was like, "Oh, come on, let's go get breakfast." So Rage and this gigantic woman that he had met pile into my Ranger. And then Jimmy meets us over there at Denny's. Jimmy's going around and getting whatever he could get from whomever, and he brings in these 2 girls, and I end up buying for everybody because Jimmy goes, "Hey, Reg, let's go out to the car and go get some herbal stimulation." Okay, yeah, they're going to be back in. They're not going to do this. Oh, yeah, they did.
Is this
$80?
Is this when you were running the board for? I mean,
no. This was right before I went to Wisconsin. It was at
okay,
3 months that I was in Springfield.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and just like, oh God, I cannot believe you 2 just did this to me.
Well, but he knew you were doing it. That's why he did it. He did it because he's like, oh, we're gonna get this sucker to pay the bill.
Yeah, that's why you got to smoke weed, man. There's a lesson there.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, that's how Jimmy was. He would, hey Sean, Jimmy would any chance at all. He would get people to buy his food, or he would have you buy it. That was the goal.
Or he would. Well, what I saw a lot was just the setups he would have, like the Great Steak and Potato. There was a pizza place that was involved for a while. It was always, spurts, but that Great Potato lasted. That's why that stood out. But there were all kinds of little spurts of him going into and just, okay, this is the 3rd time for this. All right, we're down to a routine here. You know what I want? I want the blah blah blah. Okay, here you go.
Well,
you're not going to pay. No, I guess not. Not going to pay. Okay.
Godfathers. We told the story before about
Godfathers. Yes.
Yeah. the time he brought a meal to the big staff meeting, and he went and he ended up going to Godfather's and getting free pizzas. And then Mikey got mad because he found out Jimmy got the pizzas for free, and Jimmy counted towards, I want it written down that I bought dinner tonight. And it's like, you didn't pay shit.
Yeah, he paid. I remember that. He paid with his celebrity. That's what it was. If it hadn't been for his popular celebrity, he wouldn't have been able to get those pieces for free. So like his celebrity was the the monetary device, the commerce.
I went to dinner with him. I met him in 91. And he died in 2007. So I knew him 16 years. And of the 16 years he was my friend, he never ever paid once. He never paid for anything. I mean, I still love him, but you know, like there's times I'll tease Sean and say, Sean never paid. No, Sean pays. You know what I mean? I have teased people. Jimmy's the one who honestly never paid. So I'm asking you, Rocky, do you ever remember him paying for you?
I was thinking about it as you were saying that, and no, I don't. I can't remember. I don't even remember what his wallet looks like.
Shawnee, I see that you're on. Do you ever? You and Jimmy went out a lot. Do you ever remember him paying for anything?
You know, to quote Jim, I would say the famous words, no.
So he never I don't think I know of any stories where he actually
I can't remember him. He was so extreme with some things, you know, and that was one of them.
It's like his goal was, I'm never ever gonna pay for food ever. The best
he was a big
that when we were in New Orleans for the morning show convention, my wife, the one that my wife went to me with, do you remember there was one night we were there? I think it was the time the day that I had to do the whatever panel was going on. And then my wife and I told my wife, we'll go out and get dinner. I promise, just the two of us. And so we walked from the hotel down to the seafood place. And we went out, and I think Shawnee, I went to you or whatever, and I said, who was there with me, and I said, Dee and I are gonna go take it, private. And you guys are like, yeah, that's cool. And so we walked down from the hotel to the seafood place. And as we're walking, my wife turns to me and says, I swear I just saw Jim the photographer. And I go, what? And I go, no, you didn't see him. And I turned around and looked, I didn't see anybody. And so we just kept walking. And she goes, honey, it's Jim. And she goes, he's following us. And so we end up going into the seafood place, and we sit down, right? And they're like, hello, come on. And this was the middle of or not middle, but late afternoon. And the woman comes over, and she sees all this stuff. And then Jim walks in, and he walks in and does one of those, oh, what are you doing here? Like he just decided on his own to follow.
Roll in.
Yeah. Like,
on a whim.
I just happened to go. And this is a seafood place that, it was I cannot remember the name of it for the
like
life.
a date type place. Like you
Yeah,
take
it
your
was,
wife. Yeah.
And that's what it was. It was me just,
you don't come strolling in a pussy inspector cap and flip flops.
I don't know if he was wearing the pussy inspector badge. I tell you what,
you know what I mean. You don't come in there.
I hope he was
like that.
I hope the pussy inspector badge was being worn. I don't remember it, but now for the story's sake, I'm gonna have him wearing the pussy inspector badge. No, but so my wife's like, oh, hi Jim. I'm like, hey Jimmy, what's going on? Oh, I just wanted to go out and get something to eat. Funny you guys are here.
My one-eyed cat was peeping in a seafood store. And here I am.
Somehow acting like, oh, let me turn off. I got to turn off the free audio, everybody. Sorry. Just subscribe to Patreon, patreon.com/morning disaster. And you could buy a subscription. You get the whole shows, all the Patreon shows for free. It's only $5 a month. And that means several new shows a week and best of stuff and all that stuff. I'm gonna turn off this. I'll turn the feedback on as soon as this show's over. Okay. So, Jimmy sits down and he's like, "Oh, I'm kind of hungry." And I'm like, so he doesn't even ask to sit with us. He just sort of gets himself a chair, and the waitress gets him water and stuff. And so we're uncomfortably like, "Hey, Jimmy, we're eating." And he's like, "Oh, don't mind me." And he says, "Oh, I don't have any money. I came down here. I only had $13." like he went down there and he only had
to buy like a crab leg.
we took
just the thigh of the crab leg.
Like the most important people from the show. We went to this radio morning show convention, and literally, Rocky, you went down. How much money do you think you took to go to the convention? You had money with you, I imagine.
Yeah, I made sure I had enough to pay for me and whatever meals I would be with Jim.
Like Sean, when you went down, I'm sure you knew, like, I better take this to make sure I cover things.
Yeah, I mean, and if I didn't have enough, I guess I'd be eating crackers in the room. But yeah, that's the way you plan.
Jim I was walking around with like I made sure I took some cash. I had cash in my sock. I had, cash in the wallet. I had cash in my sock. I had cash in a drawer in the hotel. This is about get my wallet stolen. I know I got other cash places.
It was great. He shows up. He goes to New Orleans and he's bragging because he's like, "Well, I only got $18." And we were there, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we were there for like 3 days, right?
Oh yeah.
And we were staying, by the way, the hotel, the station paid for the rooms. We were at a really nice hotel. And being a nice hotel, everything was expensive, although everything was there, but it was really expensive. But getting
golden days of radio.
Yeah. Mine was paid for by the whoever was throwing the convention. So
yeah, that's how all mine were when I went later on for the music ones. Yeah. They were usually paid for by record labels.
Yeah.
And then, you've got to be like, and we've also got this band we're trying to get on the radio,
So they want you to play the music.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you get free breakfast. You get free breakfast and stuff like that.
No, when you go on those things, you get free. I don't know how the morning ones were. I mean, I remember them, but I don't know how they worked for you since you were the host. But the music ones was nothing but a schmooze fest.
Yeah,
all these record labels left and right.
When I was a guest, like when I did the panels, they paid for everything. That was awesome. But if I was just going as a guest, then there was stuff they didn't cover. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't cover any room service, or they wouldn't cover any like I couldn't wake up and just go eat breakfast and have it charged and all that stuff. But if I was a guest at it, they paid for everything. Though that was the awesome one. So Jimmy shows up to this restaurant. He doesn't know anybody but D and I. He sits down with us, and my wife goes, "Well, you want something, Jimmy?" And so at this point, I'm angry. I'm like, he followed us here. We're not. And I'm like, no, we're not. And she goes, "Well, if Jimmy wants something, we'll just cover." I go, no, we're not going to do that. And so he gets angry at me. He's sitting at the table and he's just like, I've only got $13 to last for the whole week. I guess I just don't want anything. And I'm like, all right, well, you can walk back to the hotel if you want. And my wife's like, well, you could stay with us, Jimmy. At least here, Jimmy, you can have my salad. My wife says, they're giving me a salad and I don't eat salad. So she slides it over to Jimmy. So he eats her salad. So he's interrupting I'm pissed because he's interrupting my romantic meal with my wife, right? And then I think I ordered like a steak and crab legs or something, and my wife had like a little fillet and shrimp, which are going to be a key part of the story. So I eat all of it. I get my food and I eat all of it because I'm like, I'll be damned if I'm going to give any of this food
Right.
to Jim the photographer. I literally
Like you stopped being hungry, like 7 bites ago, but that plate's gonna be clean.
I'm sucking up.
I'm not getting that crumb either. I'll eat this goddamn ice out of this cup.
I'm sucking every single piece of meat out of the crab legs, okay? And I'm putting them down. And he's reaching across the table onto my plate and grabbing my empty crab legs and re-sucking them.
Because they're bad enough anyway. Yes. I'm not a seafood fan. Wow. Mm.
And he's like, are you going to eat that fat?
Mm.
As I'm eating the steak, hey, you going to eat that fat? And I'm like, I'll be like, Jimmy, I'm telling you, I'm planning on eating every single thing on this fucking plate.
Oh my God.
You know, I'm just telling him.
Eating somebody's used crab legs.
Yeah, he's
This is what's fun about this is right now I have a connection with Terry if he's listening live somewhere on the road. We're both grossed out. We both can't stand seafood and crab legs and stuff like that. And the idea of somebody eating somebody's.
This story's gonna get worse. This story's gonna get worse for you. I'm warning you right now. So my wife gets her shrimp, right? So you gotta imagine one side of the table is my wife and I.
Oh wow.
On the other side of the table, Jim the photographer is sitting there. My wife has given him her salad. He eats the salad. And then he attempts to eat some of my crab legs because as soon as we got the meal, I ate a crab leg and it was wonderful. And so he's licking on the crab leg bone, or whatever that is. And then my wife takes a bite of her shrimp. And she bites it until it's just the shrimp leg, or the whatever what do they call the end of the leg, or the whatever the
claw or the I don't know,
the scallion and the claw, whatever of the shrimp. That's what's left, right? He reaches over while she's eating and she's cutting her fillet. And he goes, "You gonna eat the rest of that, Deidre?" And she goes, "What? You gonna eat the rest of that?" And she goes, "No, that's garbage." She goes, "No, I'm not gonna eat it. That's garbage."
Yeah. That's supposed to eat the tail of the
Yeah. He goes, "That's the best. That's the best part."
Also not supposed to eat the peel of the orange, not supposed to eat well, I can't talk because I had my whole tamale incident, so I'm gonna stay out of that.
That's the best part of the trip. So he reaches over to her plate and grabs the tail of the shrimp, which is just sitting there, and he grabs it and puts it on his plate. And he's filling his plate with garbage. And my poor wife is horrified. And she's sitting next to me and watching him fill his plate with garbage. And she goes, and so she cuts off half her steak and goes, "Here, Jimmy, I'm not going to eat." And I go, "Honey, don't." I said, "Don't." Because I got to be honest, at this point, I would have just said, "Here, Jimmy, here's $50. Go eat on your own. Just leave us alone." But no, he's now pissed me off. He's crossed the line here with my wife and I, and my wife cuts off a piece of her steak and gives it to him, right? He eats it like, like somebody just gave extra porridge to Oliver Twist.
Oliver Twist.
Yeah.
More bowl, please, sir.
Yeah. So he ends up with all the strip tails off of her plate, all of the crab legs that have no meat in them. He takes all that, and then he takes the extra parts of her steak. Oh, and then she has a baked potato, right? And my wife eats the baked potato, By the way, my baked potato, I ate every fucking ounce of it. I'm talking skin, you name it.
The aluminum foil.
Yes, I was so pissed at Jimmy. I don't want to. My wife eats just the potato, right? So the skin is still there. And Jimmy says, that's the best part of the potato.
Oh, come on.
So he takes.
Do you really ate the skin though? Do people do that?
Yeah,
I'm not into potatoes. I didn't know how common that was.
Yeah, I know I did. I'm telling you, I ate the skin because I didn't. To me, it's not
Jim Day, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I just didn't want him to have it. I was that angry. I was just getting that pissed at him. But he grabs my wife's potato skin, all the crab tails, the little piece of steak, and he goes, "Oh, this is a top-notch meal." And then my wife says, "Jimmy, do you want a soda or something? We'll buy you a soda." And he orders a glass of wine from the waitress or whatever the hell it was. So he's sitting there and he's eating the shrimp tails and he's like sucking on them, going, "Oh, this one had a lot of meat in it." And it was,
come on.
I swear to God, I wish my wife was here to share the story because it is.
Yes, pile it on. She can share other stories.
It was the funniest thing. And he didn't.
More illustrations of just how much meat was left on the used crab tail and the potato skin.
He calls our
food where the best part of it is still gross. Now we're going into.
He calls our waitress over to the table, even though he's not part of the party. He calls our waitress over the party and says, "They would like some more rolls," and he's ordering things. And
that's the most normal part of the story.
And can we get some butter? Right. So they bring over butter that he's putting on the potato skin. And then he proceeds to eat the roll. He ended up eating extra rolls that we got. He ate all my wife's salad, a half of her steak, all of the shrimp tail.
That's typical Jim the photographer. Then we get into shrimp tail licking and sucking used crabs. And that's the line.
It really is a catfish. And I don't mean I don't mean an identity thief. I mean bottom dweller. Crumbs.
But if he would have gone to me, and just said, "Hey, listen, I don't have any money."
Literally, algae. Is that next? Bottom feed. That's the best part.
If he would have said, "I don't have any money and I got to get something to eat," I'd say, "Well, where are the guys going?" And I said, I would have said, here's $50. Just go eat. But he really pissed me off because he followed my wife and I from the hotel to this private restaurant just to bother us. And then he doesn't know anybody. It's New Orleans. He doesn't know anybody. He's asking people that we're sitting by, "Are you going to eat that?" And I'm telling you, it was the most embarrassing thing.
Now, see, that's over the line when you're in a whole other place. People don't even know who that is.
They don't know. Oh, it's horrible.
That's one thing to be down the road from the radio station, but it's another to be. But I guess that's party. They probably have people like that all over the place. I mean, we are talking about New Orleans.
Oh, it was horrible. But he did somehow live. He made it. He made it through with $18. He got through that whole week somehow, and I don't know how he did it, but he ate every day.
God.
Oh, I gotta ask Sean. We talked about this a long time ago. I don't remember if it was Atlanta or if it was New Orleans, but Jim and I, Sean, it was the one Sean was on, whichever one that was, whichever boot camp that was.
Atlanta.
Okay, Atlanta. Do you remember? I think you and I shared a room, maybe, or Jim. I mean, that's what it was, because it was your room, and it was that makes sense. Do you remember walking in, and Jim and I are sitting at a table, and there's just weed laid out all over the place, and there's this quick, yeah, okay, yeah,
yes,
that was in your room, Sean.
Yeah, I'm certainly not something I had any part of, but yeah, it was a definite buffet of the ganja.
And then trying to this kind of thing. But that was what I was telling the story before about how before all that, I was telling Jim, Sean can walk in at any point. This is his, you know.
Yeah, it's just,
And
he's the one that's going to be.
Another one of those. Got to live on the edge. Got to live on danger. Got to have that constant danger going on. Oh, it'll be fine. Oh no, he won't. And not just let's just break it. No, let's spread it out all over everything we've got. Pretty much all over. No reason. Because I said it would be a bad idea to take a piece out. So now he's got to spread it out on it like some kind of a marijuana Scarface, all over the table, and boom, door opens.
Hey, say hello to my little friend.
So Sean, you walked into the room when they had all that stuff out on the table.
Yeah, I started thinking okay, is this 500 grams or more? Yeah.
Oh my God!
I started doing the federal math in my head.
Right.
I would have. Well, I told the story earlier about when Jimmy drove his car. Or, sometimes when people drove him, he thought it was fine that he smoked weed while he was going for the ride or while he was driving. I told the story about there's a time where you and Jimmy and Chloe where you ended up, I don't know if you were driving or you were riding and you were covering something and Jimmy smoked pot the whole way. And I want to say you guys were driving to Peoria or something. And
I'll tell you, I know I'd go to Illini games with him, and it's like, well, what's he doing right now? He's either A, hitting the hitter pipe, or B, hey, I got my road sodas. And he sat there, he would have his beer resting on the dash,
Yes.
And again, state police, they've got eyes. Trained.
Right, exactly. And don't put it under the on the floor. Put it in put it right on the goddamn dash. Constant danger. Got to be in constant intensity going on.
I need a road soda. I was telling the story about the WWE. We went to the WWE. I don't know if you went or not, but we went to the WWE show in St. Louis, and it was me and Jimmy and Goose, and I want to say it was you, but I can't remember who the fourth one was. And we went down there, and Jimmy was smoking and drinking, and it was such no concerns. Even when the cops pulled us over, he had no concerns. I was scared to death. I was like, I'm going to jail because this asshole is smoking weed in the car.
Right.
Unbelievable. It's just, that's how Jimmy was. He had this sort of fearless nature that, in hindsight, was kind of remarkable. But the entire time I knew him, 16 years, I don't remember him ever paying a bill. I just don't remember, and I'm trying.
No, I really don't either. I'm remembering different places. It was a lot of steak and shit, a lot of drive-throughs too. And no, I don't ever remember.
Early on, when Lamb and I first met him, when we first met him, he paid, but he was working at Caterpillar. He was making a shitload of money. But I'm saying when he went full-time radio, I don't remember him ever paying a bill. It was always just.
He might have paid in he might have had like coupons or gift certificates he'd pay with sometimes, maybe. I'm thinking, but I don't remember cash coming out. I don't remember legitimate, like ordinary.
Yeah, like a regular person.
Right.
Cash or a credit card covering the bill. Everyone else I know.
He didn't have a credit card or a debit card, right? I don't remember that.
I don't think so. Yeah, not that I remember.
Yeah, no.
But I remember one year he finished second in the fantasy football league, and everybody paid money for the fantasy football league. And then, you just forget about the money. The money just went into a drawer or whatever. And then at the end of the year, the winner keeps the money and the second place gets so much money. And there was one year he finished second, and I was the commissioner and I had all the money, and it's sitting in my office when I lived on I lived in Chatham, and the money was in the office, and I want to say the one on Money Tree or whatever. And I remember the season ended and Jimmy finished second. And he drove to my house the last game of the football season and knocked on my door at like 10 o'clock and goes, I need to get my win. I need my winnings. And I'm like, what? It's 10 o'clock. And I'm like, I'll bring it to you tomorrow. I need my winnings. And so I had to get up. I had to get up and go to the office and get.
They're gonna take my thumb. I need my winning.
And by the way, it wasn't a lot of money. Sean, what was second place? Like $60 or something?
Yeah, it was nothing to write home about.
Because I think Sean won the championship a couple times or finished second. So it wasn't a ton of money, but he drove to my house and wanted me to pay him that night, and left with the money. And he was so much pride because he finished second. There was so much pride. Wait to next year. Next year, I'm taking the whole fucking thing. He was so happy about this fantasy football stuff. But I mean, that's Jimmy. He would be excited about nothing, and
right.
The important things he wouldn't give a shit about. It was just crazy.
Penny wise, pound foolish, as my mother used to say.
Your mother is very smart. I just love Jimmy, but oh my God, those were those things he did that drove me crazy.
By the way, you brought up the street you lived on. You mentioned the name. I just want to say, what an obnoxious name for a street. Money Tree.
Yeah.
Who the hell lives on something called, well, I live on Money Tree?
No, that was not.
And how do you tell your kid, what do you think, money just grows on trees? Well, we live on Money Tree.
That whole subdivision in Chatham is named after trees. Like I had 2 houses in that subdivision. I also lived on a street.
Cherry Lane or Pine Avenue is different than Money Tree.
I agree.
God.
I lived
that.
I lived on
That's
a street
obnoxious.
called Sequoia. Well, we were one of the first people to build in that. That was one of the first places built.
You named it
in that subdivision. No, I didn't name it. But we bought the house without even knowing the name of the street.
Oh wow.
Because it was one of the first ones being built. That was a really, really nice house.
I would demand a change immediately. I mean, like I'm pulling out. I'm not living on something called Money Tree.
I'm not going to demand they change the name of the street. We moved to a street called Sequoia in the same subdivision, which I enjoyed that subdivision. I thought it was really nice.
Well, Sequoia's fine.
Yeah.
Money Tree sounds like,
Money Tree still exists. It still exists. Literally, I've lived in 3 houses in that same subdivision. It's such a nice place. I lived on Money Tree, Sequoia, and Oak Brook. Those are the 3 streets I've lived on in that subdivision. And they were fantastic. But yeah, you're right. Money Tree is kind of obnoxious. And there were some very nice people that lived in that block, And the street, by the way,
Obviously very affluent people.
No, the street's a block long. That's it. It's just there's only like.
Well, yeah, it's very exclusive. Only certain people can live on Money Tree.
No, there's only like 12 houses. There's 12 addresses with Money Tree because that's it. It's a block long.
Yeah, makes sense. And do the trees literally have like cash hanging off of them?
Well, I didn't realize how obnoxious. It was until I no longer had money. And then I was like, holy shit, I can't believe I lived on a street called Money Tree. People thought I was a fucking asshole.
I lived on a street called Default Tree.
I need to live in Bankruptcy Lane.
Oh,
that's where
the chat room says there's a burning tree lane. Imagine that fire call.
God, it's unbelievable. Oh, I wanted to play some. I said earlier this week I was going to play some Christmas stuff, but I love telling the gym photographer stuff was so funny. But I did
It's only the 4th. We don't have to be like the Hallmark Channel and start celebrating Christmas as soon as December hits.
I specifically said that I wanted to play at least a few of those because it was a conversation with you, Rocky, where I was talking about some of the stuff you did, like the fake commercials for things. We would do these short commercials for products. And so I specifically found some and I, just thought I'd play them. It's not super long, but it's still just to let everybody know, like when I said earlier this week that we wrote the Christmas bits, this is the stuff I was talking about. Like, if you're a young parent and you have a young child that you need to get them something for Christmas, here is some of the things that Rocky would come up for you to get. And one of them is very familiar for the type of comedy that Rocky would make me laugh with, which is, this is exactly what you would expect from Rocky. It's not exactly a whore product, but it's very, very close to it's very, very close to one of those whore products that he would tell us about. This is from Christmas of '97, I believe.
Oh my God, I know I'm pregnant. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, I know I'm pregnant. Where's that test?
My mommy's always running around the house thinking she's knocked up, and it looks like she's having a lot of fun running around. That's why for Christmas this year, I want baby's first early pregnancy test, so I can run and jump around and scream too.
Pregnancy test. Oh my
Little
God.
blue stars. I guess I'm not pregnant.
Baby's first early pregnancy test. New for Christmas from Vic Toys.
Rocky,
It's just bizarre.
you loved.
It's been right around the acid time, the trip.
You loved any bit that was somehow shaming women for horish
It
activity.
seems like the stuff I did then is like the memes of now, because I've seen that, like the pregnancy kit toy thing, the fake meme. They had those.
It was earlier this week. Somebody in our chat room said that you loved the word whore to put it into comedy.
No, I said that.
Oh, was that you that said? Okay.
I said I think I just because we played something that had that in it. I said I remember that. I just loved.
I played the bit whore insurance. Hey, we've got whore insurance, and I played that in the pregame show. It was either yesterday or the day before, whatever. But I'm saying you just like when you wrote the Hump Ranger, you wrote the one character whose name was the town whore.
Right.
Oh my God! I just want to play some of these treats. Babies like this gift.
New this Christmas from Vic Toys, the toy company for the child of the 90s. It's Baby's First Uzi.
Jimmy, I got your back. Don't worry about it.
Your child will be miles ahead of the other kids in street smarts when you give him Baby's First Uzi.
If you don't give me that money, I'm gonna get you with my super soaker. Oh yeah? Well, if you don't give me my crap, I'm gonna blow your head off.
All those other toys are just kid stuff compared to Baby's First Uzi.
Goo-goo, motherfucker.
Remember, it's never too early for your child to learn a little self-protection. Baby's First Uzi, new this Christmas from Vic Toys.
We got away with it.
I don't remember that either. Wow.
You said gaga goo goo motherfucker.
Right.
We beeped out fucker, but unbelievable. Here was this had to be a Bodine thing that his smoking problem when you did this one.
New this Christmas from Vic Toys.
I gotta give this up. These little cigarettes are so addicting. But I gotta have them. You got one? I know what you mean. I'm dying for a cigarette. Yeah, but if my goddamn mother would have cared enough about me to quit smoking while she was pregnant, this wouldn't be happening right now.
Maybe you know a little special someone who needs this little special patch. It's my first nicotine patch. New for Christmas from Vic Toys.
That had to be during the time we were giving Bodine shit about the smoking.
I remember.
It was all
one joke.
Yeah. And then, of course, this was one of the biggest sellers of Vic Toys.
New this Christmas from Vic Toys. Move over, Power Sword. Move over, Super Soaker. Get out of the way, Cap Gun. And make room for the new Super Duper Gouger from Vic Toys. Make your child the master of his own destiny when you buy him Super Duper Gouger for Christmas from Vic Toys.
Hey, check out what I got for Christmas. Ow, damn it, that's my eye.
Super Duper Gouger.
Okay, Jeffrey, I'm not going to tell you again. You need to get that homework done or you're going to be punished.
Oh, yeah?
Ow!
Think so.
Super Duper Gouger. New this Christmas from Big Toy.
Super duper.
I remember that. Yeah.
Eye gouger. That was another 97.
Yeah, that's right around the acid, probably. You know how bands had that one album?
Oh God. What is it, Sean? Sean has got, what are you holding? You're reaching for things.
One of
What is
my
that?
nervous habits.
It looks like a giant back scratcher. What the hell is that?
It's you know when you're pathetic and you don't want to
He's got a senior grabber.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
my 89-year-old mother with dementia has one of those.
What are you grabbing with that?
I was making some adjustments. My room's a complete mess.
So that thing that you're holding is so that you can reach things without actually reaching.
Yeah, it's quite pathetic. It was
You
just
can
something
clean up without moving.
Yeah.
No, I didn't buy it in my defense, but it must have been like, I don't know if my grandma had it or what, but it's become quite helpful.
So you were given that as a as a gift.
It was just left sitting behind, and
or was that an
I don't know
inheritance?
over that?
Was that an inheritance we bequeathed to Sean Malint?
It might be. It's almost like my lightsaber.
Did you? Hey, I gotta ask you something because earlier I saw you were in camera. Your camera wasn't on. Your mic wasn't on, but you looked like you were coughing. Are you feeling all right?
I'm waiting to get the test results back, and I'm very.
Oh shit!
Oh,
you had to get.
That don't sound good.
You think you have COVID? Oh look! I can't even see. He can't even talk. I got it.
Yeah, he muted himself.
He's coughing.
We'll find out.
How long have you been coughing?
Well, as soon as I learn how to shut my thing off here, I've been probably like 4 or 5 days.
Holy shit, dude, that's not good.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
When did you go get the test?
Yesterday.
So you finally decided, okay, something's wrong. I got to get the
Yeah,
test.
I gotta let it incubate a little bit and
Yeah.
give it time to show up. But yeah.
Where do you think you got? Do you know? Were you around someone that had it, or?
Well, I think secondary source. Somebody went hunting with somebody who had it, and they got around me.
Wait, so he went hunting with the person. That person had it.
Not that anybody knew of, but anyway, I don't really want to get
Well, I'm
too
not
deep
gonna-
in the weeds
no.
on that. But yeah, it somebody got out and about, and you might hunting itself certainly lends to social distancing, but
and it's
you go to a clubhouse or have a beer afterwards, and
person that that was with the guy that may have had it. Do they have it? Are they okay too, or?
no, they got it. They're confirmed.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, he's got it. Oh my God, I'm sorry to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, dude, I'm so sorry.
Yep. So I don't have anything confirmed yet, but the flu bug isn't out there yet. And
Well, thank God you're not morbidly obese.
yeah. Yeah, thank God for that, huh?
Thank God you're not,
Thank God for that exercise program 2 years ago where the effects have completely worn off.
I mean, good Lord.
Yeah.
Well, I see you coughing and stuff. I mean, you look like really uncomfortable a few minutes ago, which is why I asked.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were fighting.
Yeah, it's not good. So I'll probably boogie out and get a nap, and hopefully I'm still alive on Monday. We'll see.
Well, God, I can't.
Not that I have a lot to live for, but
Well, I
don't want to leave the world on a low note.
You have a ton to live for, but I didn't realize. Yeah, you do. I mean, Rocky? How do you think he looks? You know,
Well, it was more about how you sounded,
Yeah.
coughing, and then to the point where you muted and.
you sound kind of hollow, if that makes any sense. Like you always.
No, I totally know what you're saying. I think it's
you have this
like
golden
inner
voice.
ears are plugged up a little bit. and-
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't have the throttle. Let's put it that way.
it sucks. Yeah, I just talked to someone else who literally just got out of the hospital with it, and they were telling me all the problems they had. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, it's just horrible. Well, I'm sorry, man. I hope you don't have it, but
yeah.
How do you feel? Do you think you have it?
Well, I'll tell you what, the congestion is different. Not to be gross,
Yeah.
But the discharge is a little bit, it's got like a little burnt edge to it.
Yeah.
It's a little foamy, and the appetite isn't quite. I mean, I know this is going to shock people because people think of me and they think of me going somewhere and having 2 celery sticks and leaving, but yeah, I mean, like the appetite's a little. You feel like you're full without eating anything. So it's.
What about sense of smell and taste?
Yeah, can you smell
I still
everything?
got that. It might be diminished, but I still got smell and taste.
But do you taste everything? Do you taste it all?
Yeah.
Or so you're saying that the diminished appetite is a sign.
Yeah.
Diminished appetite is a sign of COVID. And you said you noticed that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be something if you get a COVID that would help you lose weight?
COVID diet 2020.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, it'd probably be well, there's all kinds of stuff, like I don't know if I'd survive a ventilator, but there's there's also a certain number of people, they say, who after they come out of COVID, what was it, 1 out of 5 develop some level of mental illness.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you guys something. I only said this on the subscriber show. My brother-in-law, and I don't know if Dee told you or not, Sean, but my brother-in-law had it. Did you guys know? They put him in a mental place because he called the police and said that he killed his mother and his son.
Oh shit!
Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. And the police were like, "What?" He's like, "Killed my mother and my son." He had convinced himself. That his mother and his son, my cousin or my nephew, my daughter's cousin, was dead. And then he told the cops that he thinks he was the one who killed him. And the cops were like, "They're okay. We literally just talked to them." And they had to take him and put him in a home. And this has all happened post-COVID. So
just crazy stuff.
And then after they gave him these drugs or whatever, he had to go on. He's already been on the program to get rid of COVID. But now they put him on the new stuff, and now he doesn't even remember doing it. But I mean, that's a crazy phone call that someone makes, right? I mean,
oh
yeah, good.
And he's never had problems before. I mean, this is a guy. This is a guy that played baseball. Do you know? I don't know if you remember my brother-in-law or not, but do you remember Brooks Kieschnick and all those guys?
Oh yeah,
he played on the tee. He played with them.
Oh wow,
he was an athlete, and and all this stuff in his whole life, and all of a sudden this stuff COVID hit him, and now it's all changed. And I don't know if he's just getting out or what, but he literally was having these violent mental fantasies, and they said it's the COVID, which I didn't even know that was an option. And they also feel that his heart has aged. They feel his heart has aged over a year or something.
Wow.
From the COVID. So it's scary.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because last night I was detained for a short time after I called and claimed I killed my wife.
They didn't find her, huh?
Oh, they said, "Who the hell married you, jackass?"
I hear some people that get COVID get rock hard erections. Hey, maybe you'll get the good side, Sean. Who knows?
Maybe, a COVID boner.
COVID diet, COVID boner, maybe wind up with a COVID wife.
Maybe you'll be the guy that ends up with the good COVID boners and the weight loss and everything else. Who knows? You might be the one.
You never know.
The medical miracle.
When will you find out your results?
They say 2 to 5 days, but I wouldn't be surprised if I don't find out today.
Well, yeah, I had heard before, and I don't know if this is true. I had heard that if you're positive, they get a positive result in quicker than a negative, when they take testing. Like when I had to get my last one, I went, I only had the one test, but I went to a CVS drive-through, and then they stick the thing up your nose. And that was the one I just went through. And literally they said it takes anywhere from 24 hours to 3 days or 4 days or whatever. And it took every bit of the 4 days. But I think it was
only took 2 days for my son to get his results back.
And he was positive or negative?
He was negative.
Okay. But I heard if you're positive, I hear that they know like the next day.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but so Sean, maybe if you are positive, they'll call you earlier.
Yeah.
So if you gotta wait, maybe that's a good sign.
When my ex-wife came down with it, they had it pretty quick to her. Yeah, she was positive.
So when she was positive, because she was positive. So did your kid get it or anything being around her? Or?
No, actually, he managed to avoid it. I don't know how, because he was there. I couldn't even go pick him up to get him out of there, but he managed to avoid it all the way.
Yeah, I just hear these horror stories. Just terrible.
He told me he was telling his mom, no, I'll go make my own oatmeal. You get away from me.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Kid, 8 years old. You got this figured out.
I wouldn't want to be around anyone. So the person that has COVID, Sean, have you been around him, or is he just avoiding you guys, or what? How's that working?
I was around, I was around for a little bit, and yeah, so it's been pretty scarce lately, but it kept the he
wasn't
contact with very few people.
He wasn't around your dad or anything, was he? Because your dad's dad's over 60s, he's not a young guy.
Yeah.
Your dad's in good shape, but
it's no fun. Yeah, it's
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, well, we'll see if good or bad news is down the pike.
Yeah.
You'd like to know the percentages, because I've always, the way things have been like, well, if you're obese, you're pretty much screwed, and you're just, you're on the fast track, so you'd love to know some percentages, like bring the sabermetrics people in.
What's your blood type?
A negative.
Oh, Jesus. Oh my God, Sean. Oh my God. I didn't know that. Holy shit. That's the blood type.
Oh, joy.
Oh my God. Like, what's your blood type, Nick?
I think I'm O positive, I believe.
Oh, good. You're good. TJ, what's your blood type?
A positive.
Oh shit. I'm telling you guys, this is honest to God true. I don't know what Rocky said his before. I don't remember. But this is honest to God, guys. This is true. The blood types that, and this is just from China, India, whatever, United States, they're accumulating all this data. There is a blood type, COVID, of people who are really susceptible and people who aren't with COVID. And the best blood type that you want to be to not get COVID is O, but you want O positive, I think, is the one. If you just having any O or positive or negative, you're the best. You're in the best bet. But O positive, I think, is the best to not get COVID. But if the people who have COVID, the ones
I'm not wearing masks anymore.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. Because they do get it. But I'm saying that people who are more susceptible to it are A, and A negative is the most susceptible, followed by A positive. So, I mean, that's just letting you guys know to just be more careful.
I was always horrible at crap, so now here I am, I win.
It's crazy. I mean, it is unbelievable, but that's an actual thing. They've had, they've been studying this for over a year. And it seems that type O blood has a lower risk factors for COVID, while A has more. And this came out, I want to say, in October of this year. So, and they also are finding some kind of link with vitamin D, which is
Really?
yeah, it's crazy.
There was also, I didn't get a chance to read the full article, but there was an article about how people who have asthma,
yes,
are in good shape if they happen to get it.
Yeah, because they've been on medicine their whole life for it usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a lot of weird COVID stuff.
It's just we just don't know. We don't know enough about this disease, which is why we need to take all the precautions we can.
Yes. Well, they say that your blood type depends on the presence or absence of proteins called A and B antigens. That's how they determine what your blood type is. And if you have both, you end up with a AB whatever. And if you don't have either, that's how you get O. All right. And O is the most common blood type, which is, for people with O blood, congratulations, because it's the blood type they're finding is least susceptible to COVID. You could still get COVID if you have type O blood type, and many people have died with type O blood from COVID, but that is the one that they're finding is the rarest to get COVID. However, A is the one that is the worst. So when Sean says he's A negative, that's the top one. I mean, I almost fell out of my chair when you said that, Shawnee. I'm hoping that's not the case, but it's also the bad, those are the people that seem to suffer from it the worst. But the fact that you said that you haven't lost sense of smell, like you could smell right now and still get some of that Fremunda scent, huh?
Oh, absolutely. My hygiene has taken a considerable hit.
I smell my bourbon every morning to make sure I can smell something.
Right. Dude, my wife sprayed this tangerine and guava stuff the other night, and I couldn't smell it. And I was like, oh my God, why can't I smell? Do I have COVID? And then my daughter had something in the oven. I could smell it. And I'm like, okay, well, shit, thank God. But that's weird. When you can't smell something, it's very bizarre. But Shawnee, you say you're smelling things and tasting things, and
like I've been hitting these Ricola cough drops, and you can smell those and taste them. So
yeah, they're pretty strong.
Yeah.
Ricola. Well, dude, I'm sorry to hear that. Holy
shit. And I haven't bathed in like 3 or 4 days. So I have
as long as you stay ripe and you can smell that you're ripe.
Absolutely.
As long as you can smell that good dirty crotch, you're fine.
It really is. It really it jumpstarts the olfactory senses.
I bet it does.
It's like a pair of jumper cables. It
takes you back to your teenage days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, I'm praying for you. I wish you luck.
Yeah, I don't see how I wouldn't. I mean, like I said, it's kind of you kind of get a fever here and there, and just
you've had a fever. You've had a fever and everything.
I had a fever the other night, or at least it was warm. The thing that the thing that really is tough is because I have such sleep and fatigue issues. Sometimes it's like, okay, is this normal or is this the co?
Are you going out and covering things, or are you intentionally?
No, there's not much really to cover.
Right.
So, like last night, the Litchfield City Council they met 18 minutes by Zoom, and sounded like Charlie Brown's teacher. Fortunately, one guy who was there to talk about a new elementary school called in on the phone. That was the one part of the meeting where, okay, this is actually usable.
Yeah. I'm shocked that you, I mean, we were just teasing, because we tease, but
yeah,
Holy shit! Now I'm actually worried for you.
Well, let's just wait to see how it progresses.
Yeah. Well, I hope
Yeah.
I hope you don't have it. I hope you don't have it. If you do have it, I hope it's a mild version and you just get through it.
I haven't encountered anything debilitating at this point, so.
And I hope your father doesn't get it.
It's the second week that ends up being the worst.
I do know that. Yeah, I do know that.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's what my ex-wife said.
Yeah, and Nick, you're going through with your grandma, and God, prayers for your grandma. I hope.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about is that second week.
Like, how old is your grandma?
She is, I believe 80.
Oh shit!
Oh my God!
I don't want to be over 80. That sucks. Yeah, I mean that's horrible. I know it's the second week, but this is. I mean, I don't know. Certainly don't know a lot about COVID. Only what I read, but I know because when my brother-in-law got it, and I started reading up on it. Actually, I started reading up on it when my niece's baby daddy died from it. I started reading up on it, but it is really amazing the stuff with the blood type and some of these other things they're finding out about people who are getting it and it's not as serious and blah blah blah. I mean, it is the really interesting stuff. So Shawnee, I saw you coughing while we were doing the show today, and I'm like, oh, he must have a little cold or whatever. And now to find out that potentially it's COVID, I mean, that's shocking.
Scary.
Yeah, I gotta.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I gotta call my girlfriend to make sure she's. Oh, that's right.
This is not like herpes,
dude. Maybe a good case of COVID could get you,
a sympathy handy.
Well, yeah. How about you've had COVID? If any girls, if girls have had COVID, here's someone that will date you. He's just gone through it, so you don't have to worry about passing it back and forth.
You can go on covidsonly.com.
Yeah.
COVID's only.
Yeah, there you go.
covidsonly.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Neil.
You don't have to cough lonely at covidsonly.com.
Let's rub masks like the Eskimos is.
How bizarre. Damn.
Hey, maybe you want to get intubated together?
Oh, God.
Sorry, was that too much?
You guys, you don't have to worry about passing along COVID to each other because you've had it, or you've got it. So you can make out with a chick that has. Could you imagine, like, you're going through this, you're afraid right now you have COVID, and you meet like the perfect chick.
Oh, that's the way my life's going to turn out.
Like you meet the perfect, and she just wants to kiss you, and you won't kiss her, and so that way she thinks you're gay or she thinks you're hiding something, or that'd be your luck.
Like I said, I really thought about making a movie about a holiday movie on the Skidmark channel, as I like to call it. It's an irrelevant life, and this angel shows me what happens if I wasn't born, how everything would be the
Pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Shit.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Who the hell are you?
Oh my God. The blood type.
And it ends with me the movie ends with me at a convenience store. Merry Christmas, you bag of Cheetos.
I just assume Sean.
Every time a bell rings, an angel doesn't give a damn.
I just assumed Sean had O blood.
No.
I had no idea.
A negatory.
Wow.
Yeah, my blood's always been a little interesting. Like, remember the HTLV saga?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I just got that infamous girlfriend from 20 years ago. That was just over, and I get a letter in the mail. Like, okay, the blood center already thanked me for my donation. It's too soon for another. I was already a little skittish because, okay, they're sending me a second letter. This is too soon for, the next round. And I open it, and it says, your blood shows HTLV, which in that letter looked like HIV. And I about crumbled on my knees. And I looked at it a second time, like, oh, HTLV. But I seriously, I thought I was a goner.
So you did you think for a second that you had HIV when you got that?
Well, the way I read it, I thought it looked like HIV. Like the T and L were pretty much smashed together, so it looked like HIV. Like, how the hell did I get that? I mean, who was she with?
I'll be damned.
So, yeah, I seriously.
So in your mind, you had already determined who gave you the HIV.
Well, that's about the only one.
Even though you didn't have it, you had determined who was the one who gave it to you.
I hadn't had a blood transfusion. I hadn't used any dirty needles, so I hadn't had any relations with the same gender. So yeah,
I'll be damned.
that was but I recovered. But I thought my heart just about stopped.
Oh my God. Yeah, that would have.
I wish I had that letter just to show you how much HTLV looked like HIV.
I do remember you coming to my house and talking to my wife and I and telling us about this. And I remember how freaked out you were. And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It turned out to be some kind of cat.
Yeah, the equivalent of feline leukemia.
Yeah.
And they say there are a lot of false positives, and yeah, I can't donate blood. It's a screwy deal.
All because you once had cat AIDS or whatever the hell you.
Yeah, they think it could be a false positive, but there's something in my blood that just sets off the little radar, so.
Be damned.
I'm toxic.
Yeah. Well, you and TJ both should watch it because blood type O, according to Danish researchers, blood type O, they have realized has some type of protections against COVID that they're finding out people have. They can still catch it, but they're not as susceptible. People with blood types AB or AB are the ones most likely to be infected. And they have tested this several times.
I think I'm going to get a transfusion then.
And they should. The A's have the A's are the most susceptible. So I'm very sorry.
So if they've got O type blood and they drink gravy, that lowers their risk, right?
Yeah. Right. Gravy is also a risk lowerer. Thank God.
Them pork bits keep the COVID away.
Look at that. So Nick, you're safe. Thank God.
Mask off. Mask off, baby.
I'll be damned. Yeah. And my daughter's, I'm O. My daughter's O. My wife must be O. So my daughter's O. But yeah, my brother Bodine is like AB something or something. It's like he's got some kind of weird blood type.
AB positive or AB negative.
Yeah, which I don't know because one of your parents has to be. I mean, I'll just throw this out there. If you're type O, okay, that means that both of your parents were type O. You know what I mean? Like if one of your parents were A or B or something, there's some kind of paternity thing that people with blood type. So I'm not gonna say for sure, but I was saying
if parent 1 and parent 2 both have A,
yeah,
they could give either A or O.
Yes. Okay.
If parent 1 or parent 2 if they're AB, they can give A, B, AB, or O, so they can give all 4.
Okay. But what's the one? There is the one.
If one parent has AB and one parent has O, they give A or B.
Yeah, and if your kid's an O, then somebody else is the father. I'm saying it's a weird thing like that. It is there. I can't remember what it is, but there's a weird thing with blood types. So, I mean, I'm an O, so but I'm pretty sure
if one's an A and one's an O, then it's the baby's going to be either A or O. So if it ends up being B,
if it's a B, then you know
there's something wrong.
else. Yeah.
And vice versa with B and O.
There's some kind of shit with that. Like there is a way that doctors can tell. There's a way that doctors can tell without having to,
So that's how Maury can get the results so fast.
Well, yeah, it's like there's the they have a name for it. There's a conversation where a doctor can have a conversation with the mother to where when they start looking at things where they say,
what's your blood type?
Your blood type is your husband's blood type is your child's blood type is blah, blah, blah.
You may want to have a conversation.
Yeah. You're an A, the B, there's no way. It's impossible for your child to be an O. So it's a conversation the doctor has with a wife to say, maybe we should stop this. You know what I mean? Diving. And a lot of times the wives are like, yeah, let's just stop this, And so there's a name for it. It's an uncomfortable conversation that they have. They actually have it's the something, I learned about it you remember the show House?
Yeah.
It was on the show House. That's where, I first heard of this. And there's a name for it. That's how they, it's the one thing that doctors, don't want to tell people, but it's factually, it's true. You can't have, if you're if you're this and your wife's that and your kid can't be blah, blah, blah. I mean, there are those things that are impossible. So, and now with DNA testing, a lot of people are finding that stuff out too. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. But oh well.
Like the cleft chin.
A non-paternity event.
Yeah. Thoughts for Shawnee. That's scary, man. Being an A negative and having a cough. I wanted to end things today with the whole Sean COVID thing is scary. I wanted to end things today though with something else that we mentioned on the show the other day. So I went and found this. We were talking about the bit of Soul Santa on the show the other day. Oh
God, yeah.
And I do this because we're starting to get ready for Christmas. So I'm getting all the Christmas specials and stuff to put out on Patreon as we get closer. But we did a bit called Soul Santa. And it started. You
guys used to do a different kind of Santa too? Or was it just Soul Santa?
Soul Santa was, no, we did an actual, Sean did the voice of Santa.
Okay.
Which is fun. There was one where Sean.
I thought there was like an evil Santa, but that could have been a different show.
Sean was doing the bit of Santa, and P.S. Bob called in, and it is
oh God,
it's funny because he starts trying to piss off Sean. It's actually very funny. But Rocky said, but I said early Soul Santa was John Lamb. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I said we brought it here, and I did it, and Rocky said that I also made him do one of the early ones. And he was uncomfortable with it. So I switched it. And I went and looked for an old soul. This is one of the Soul Santas that we did. I believe this is me doing Soul Santa, but I wanted to play Soul Santa to wrap up today's show. So here we go.
It's time for us to bring in our own Father Christmas. The man who knows Christmas perhaps better than anyone else on the show. Undisputed Christmas champion of the world. Yes, heavyweight title belt holder. He loves Christmas. I'm talking lives it. The one and only. From not the North Pole, but the South Pole. Soul Santa! All right! Hey, baby, what's going on? Ho, ho, ho. It's Soul Santa, don't you know, baby? Ha, 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 yeah. Hey, Soul Santa, how are you? Yo, how you doing, bro? Doing good. Yo, is that Big Sean out here? Yes, it is. Good to be
Hey,
back,
Big
Soul
Sean.
Santa.
It's me, Soul Santa. I got down what you want on your list.
Yeah, I
Now
hope
listen,
you
you want the kind that you blow up with your mouth or the kind that you got to use a pump to blow up? That's what Soul Santa want to know. You got the is that the kind you want?
Yeah, I've got.
And you want a girl with blonde hair or black hair? To blow up?
I like the raven hair.
All right. That's what I'm looking for. Yo, Allison, how you doing?
What's up, Soul Santa?
Hey, your gift you wanted for me this year?
Uh-huh.
You want batteries or do you just want the kickstart car?
Well, as long as they're ultra batteries.
All right. Yeah, baby. Hey, can I take some calls? Can I take calls?
Yeah.
What's the phone number, man? Let me take some calls from some listeners. It's Soul Santa calling from the South Pole. Hold on a second. I got to talk to Mrs. Soul Santa. Yo, bitch, get me a 40. I'm almost out. Shut your hole, bitch. Bring me my 40. Damn, woman. Well, I'm about to go to work, damn it. It's almost Christmas. Get off my back, woman. Damn. I'm sorry. What's the number so I can talk to some people, man?
18 777 57 for Ray.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah. Call now.
Mrs. Soul Santa just not as gentle as Mrs.
Oh, I don't know what the deal, man.
Yeah.
Yo, give up. Yo, what's up, dog? You always Soul Santa.
What's up, Soul Santa?
Yo, what can I do for you, dog?
I want my TV and VCR back you stole from me last year.
We got bad connection.
Thank you.
What's up with him? How's a bad connection there with Soul Santa? I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, no, that wasn't Soul Santa. That was somebody else. Man,
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Could be anybody.
From the South Pole, this is Soul Santa. Yo, what up, blood? You on?
Hey, what's up, Soul Santa?
Yeah, what can I do for you, man?
Hey, man, I was wondering if I get a blow-up dog, too, man.
Hey, let me ask you something, man.
What?
You gonna leave us Soul Santa a 40 under the tree?
Maybe.
Cause I went into your house.
As long as you make one of them blow-up dogs look like your old lady.
Hey, watch it. Hey, boy.
All right, buddy. See ya.
Right. I know what you're getting for Christmas.
Got to leave Santa at 40.
You get a new paint job on your house, bitch. All right, man. You always Soul Santa. What can Soul Santa do for you, man?
Hey, Ray.
What?
Is Soul Santa there?
Yo, this is Soul Santa. What's up?
Hey, Soul Santa. I'm calling. I'm trying to whisper because I don't want to wake up my girlfriend.
All right, man.
I have a feeling she's gonna leave me.
She's gonna leave you.
We've been living together for a couple of years, and I don't.
I know what it's like. I've been living with the same bitch for 18 years, and she's still a bitch about me. Let me marry her. Shut up, bitch. The South Pole ain't got no what? What you say, woman? I marry you, and I damn well feel I'm marrying you. You have my children. What else you want? Damn. No, there ain't no common law in the South Pole. Shut your mouth and get me a 40. I'm sorry. You go right ahead. Soul Santa won't. Yeah. What could Soul Santa do for you, man?
Well, I don't want her to leave me, and I want to see what I can do to make it.
Oh, she gonna leave you, man?
Yeah.
Your girl. Oh, listen. You want to do something to make her stay with you, man?
Yeah. Got any ideas?
Yeah. Here you go. What she needs is to get pleased. You probably ain't pleasing her sexually, right?
Well,
I bet that's what it is. Here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do with Soul Santa, all right?
Okay.
Instead of leaving me cookies and milk, I don't like cookies and milk underneath the tree. Usually I prefer a 40 and a pack of Marlboro Reds or some Newports. But this year, what I like, or blunt, like Jimmy always in there. Here's what I want you to do for Soul Santa this year, all right? Get you a woman and put her out under the tree and spread her eagle-like. All right? Put her under the tree, and then you let Soul Santa come on in there. Soul Santa, show her what it's like.
What?
Yeah, put her under the tree. Put your woman under the tree. Spread her eagle.
Okay.
And then Soul Santa will come in and ho, 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 yo, ho. Now, listen, when it's all said and done, You know, you might have to wait a couple weeks to let her get back to normal. You know what I'm talking about? But after that, then she have a good place, and she should be good for a year.
Once she can walk again, Soul Santa.
Yeah, it's like getting an oil change, man. You know, it should be good for another 3,000 miles. And she won't be bitching at you so much. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, the one thing you got to worry about. She might not go back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what Soul Santa's all about, baby. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? She might not go back, baby. Yeah.
Maybe it'd just be best she leave me.
Hey, why don't you shut up and put your bitch underneath the tree for Soul Santa? I get on there so good time now. All right?
Well, okay.
All right.
All right.
Oh, little white boy, she gonna leave him big time. Merry Christmas. I'm out the door. Boom, boom, boom. Yo, what's up, dog? You on? Soul Santa. Yo, what you want, boy?
What's up, Snoop Doggy Clothes?
Yo, what's up?
What's up, my brother?
What's up? Yo.
I need me a new hoe.
Yo, man, I know the feeling. I had yours too when she was bad. It's about time you got Yo, that's about it. Listen, excuse me, hold on a second, guys. Bitch, get me a 40. Now listen, I got some business to tend to in the kitchen. Listen, Merry Christmas and all that. Ho, ho, ho. You know what I'm talking about. Let me just pass along some messages to your listeners. To Dre out there, I know what you're looking for. I got your Snoop Dogg CD. I got your autograph for Destiny's Child poster coming to you. And you'll deliver $43 under the tree. I'll get that hooked up to you. Jimmy?
Yeah.
I got your quarter that you want.
All right.
I put it under the tree, but you know what that's going to cost you, same as last year.
A big fat blunt.
That's right. Put it under the tree. I'll take care of you.
You know.
And Allison,
Old 42.
and Allison, I'm going to bring you some rechargeable batteries along with your gift.
Thank you, Soul Santa.
All right, listen, I got to go on my satellite connection from the South Pole. Put down a little bit. And I got myself a woman to tell. Bitch! Did you just burn the breakfast? Did you burn my breakfast? All right, I got. Oh, damn it. You better put on the Argentina record because we don't have us around, baby. All right, I'll see you later. Goodbye, everybody. Ho, ho, ho. All right, so sad. Hey, man, it's so sad from the South Pole. How about that? Yeah, it's the best. We haven't heard from Soul Santa in a while. It's great to hear from him. Yeah, Soul Santa. Good old Soul Santa.
There you go, Soul Santa. That's around 2000. Soul Santa. From
Soul Santa.
Winter.
Giving us some good Christmas cheer this year. Always good to talk to old Soul Santa.
Winter of 2001. Soul Santa on the morning.
And that had to be during the syndication. Allison was there.
Yeah, well, it was 2001, so it would have been. We were syndicated 2000, 2001. So yeah, that would have been when it was. But we started out Soul Santa. Lamb did the original Soul Santa, and then I did Soul Santa in New York. But then we came here. Rocky said I made him do Soul Santa early on in Springfield. So that would have been around 96, 97. And then I started doing Soul Santa again in around, late 90s, 2000. And then Lamb did Soul Santa again when he joined the Morning Disaster. So Soul Santa has been several different people, but always a fun bit. I'm still trying to find the Rocky Soul Santa stuff so I can play it because he seemed to remember it, and I want to see how it was. So I was still looking for that, but he said it was really uncomfortable because he didn't know the character. So we'll find it and play that hopefully before Christmas.
Yeah, there's no reason to play any Soul Santa. That's cool.
You don't like any Soul Santa at all? You didn't find any.
You don't need to play mine if I did it.
Well, I'm saying there has to be something that would make where I would say I would, because listen, I'm lazy. I would never volunteer to take over playing anything if someone else is doing it, unless unless what
They didn't want to do it anymore and don't want
Yeah.
you playing old bits that they did with it.
I'm saying unless you did a bad Soul Santa or something, in which case I would love to, because I never get anything of you doing anything bad. I would love to play it, but
Of course.
I'm just trying to find, but I can't find it. So I'm thinking,
Good.
that
The
maybe,
one you just played was bad enough. That's fine. Why would you want worse or just as bad? Play something funny.
I don't need to be insulted. I'm just saying I'm trying
You're
to
playing
find,
things that are way dated. Let's just put it that way.
of course
Very
it's
dated.
dated. I just don't want to play. I want to play something. I'd like to hear you doing that character to hear how I got, because I can't remember it. So I'm still looking for it. But all the
Why?
because I'm weird like that. All the Christmas stuff will be coming. Hey, listen, tomorrow night is the weed show.
Oh yeah.
Tomorrow
You
night
don't
is
have
the-
it, right?
We don't have what?
You don't have the weed, right?
I have the weed.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, good.
You got your weed now.
Yeah, I have my wife got me the weed.
What
I
is
didn't-
it?
I don't know. My wife went and got, my daughter told my wife what to get, and my wife went by and got me the weed.
Well, what's it called?
It's some sort of hybrid. I don't know what the name of it is. I have no idea. So I will have weed.
So you've got your weed, but you don't know the brand of weed you got.
I might have gotten the same kind Bubba has, the Blue Dream, but I'm not sure. I told, that's one of the names I gave them, but my daughter got it. My daughter, like I said, my daughter, does it regularly. So my wife went and on
If
her
you've got Blue Dream, this is going to be even funnier.
on her birthday, she went and picked up some weed for me. So I will have weed. Bubba's gonna cam up, and anybody listening, if you want, I'll give you a link and you can cam up and smoke right on, right on cue with us. TJ's gonna be drinking.
Yep.
I don't know. Nick's you're not smoking, Nick?
No, I'll be like how I was in high school.
You're just gonna watch.
Just gonna sit around and go, oh, look at all the cool kids.
Hey, Rocky, you think Ray's going to go comatose on us in excess of 10 minutes or before 10 minutes?
That's why I asked what kind it was.
You guys you're afraid that
I'm expecting more word scrambling.
Yeah.
You're afraid that I will
Chatty Cathy.
that I will talk too much or too
When
little.
you talk,
You're either going to start laughing at phone numbers or you're going to turn into Jim, where you get highly animated.
Oh, I hope not.
Or the opposite, just get really mellow.
I'll be honest, I would be happy to just sit back and watch and laugh everybody else. That would be nice. Because normal Ray, I feel like I have to make sure.
Because normally you provide all the humor and we're just sitting back and laughing at
I
you.
don't know, but I mean, I sort of direct everything, and it would be nice to just sort of watch and chill. So I don't know what it's going to be like. Sean will probably be dead from COVID. The rest of
Someone
us
said
will
see
be-
you Monday, so he's probably not planning on being a part of that. I would.
Oh, I imagine he's not going to be part of it. I imagine he won't be part of the weed show. Are you going to have any weed, Rocky? Are you going to do Bacardi or what? And will Terry be on drinking beer and holding cats?
I have no idea.
Jeff is in the chat room saying that he goes, Ray will veg. He'll fall asleep. Bubba says Rocky was the humor last Saturday. Well, Rocky's always the humor.
Yeah.
I still don't get what was funny about it. It was more obnoxious than.
I thought it was funny.
It was funny obnoxious.
Funny about it.
I can't wait. I'm also going to invite, I'm going to invite anybody who wants to come in and smoke on the weed show. You're going to be invited. I'll put up, however, the only people who'll be able to watch it are going to be people who are subscribers. So you've got to subscribe to Patreon in order to join us. That'll be tomorrow around 7. All right. You guys have a great rest of the day and we'll talk to you later. That wraps up today's show. So long, everybody.